Archangel Michael says, the moment you've been feeling in your spirit has finally arrived. Hours ago, behind closed doors, his entire family gathered around a table, their voices lowered, their faces tense. They spoke of you, your name echoing in that room like a whispered prophecy that none of them could ignore anymore. They wanted to know everything, who you truly are, where your strength comes from, why you have captured his heart so fiercely. Their curiosity wasn't casual, it burned with urgency and confusion. They sensed that your presence carries a divine force, a power beyond human understanding. While they sat in that heavy silence, his heartbeat thundered louder than their words. He tried to explain, tried to put into sentences the way your soul feels like destiny, but they wanted proof, answers, and certainty. They cannot deny that you are different, chosen, anointed in a way that frightens and fascinates them at the same time. Even as they spoke, the heavens trembled because this moment was meant to happen. The truth is unfolding now, and the light surrounding you is revealing secrets that were hidden for so long. This is no ordinary conversation, this is the moment fate turns toward you. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says, unseen hands of heaven are pushing this family to confront the truth. The forces of light are shaking their hearts, making them realize they cannot judge you by what they've heard. Deep down, they know there's something divine in your connection, something too powerful to deny. One member of that family couldn't hold back tears. They felt a pull toward you, a strange sense of guilt for doubting you without ever knowing your full story. It was as if an invisible angel stood behind them, whispering that they had been wrong about you all along. His voice trembled as he defended you, not with empty words, but with raw, undeniable emotion. He spoke of the way your presence has changed his life, how meeting you was like stepping into the hands of God himself. Each sentence pierced their doubts, melting away years of resistance. And still, even after the conversation ended, their thoughts couldn't escape you. Every time they close their eyes, they see your face glowing with something pure, something that cannot be faked. Heaven is making sure your truth cannot be silenced. Type Amen to get blessing 777. From that moment forward, everything began to shift. Old wounds in that family started to heal because your name brought hidden truths to the surface. The universe is using you as a key to unlock doors they thought would never open again. Archangel Michael says, soon you'll notice signs, calls you never expected, apologies you never imagined hearing. These are not coincidences, they are divine alignments set in motion by that powerful meeting. Even now, as you read this, the air around you feels heavier, charged with the electricity of change. It's heaven's way of confirming that you're stepping into a chapter where masks fall and authenticity reigns. Your light is undeniable, and they have finally seen it. They wanted to understand you, but what they will soon discover is that you are far more than they ever believed. You carry a destiny that cannot be stopped or hidden, and heaven is placing you exactly where you need to be. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Just hours ago, while they questioned him, there was a moment of silence so profound that it felt supernatural. In that silence, a spiritual veil lifted, and one of them caught a glimpse of your purpose. It shook them to the core, leaving them speechless. He left that room with a decision burning in his heart: he will stand by you no matter the cost. Their questions only made him more certain that you are the one heaven handpicked for his journey. That certainty is growing like a fire no one can put out. From the shadows, an elder in that family who has remained quiet for years finally spoke. They told a story, long buried, about a prophecy that a divine soul would one day join their bloodline and lead them out of darkness. As they spoke, every gaze in that room turned toward him because they realized, it's you. Now, there's no turning back. Their curiosity has become reverence. Their doubt is turning into awe. Heaven has made it clear that you are not just passing through their lives, you are rewriting their destiny forever. Type Amen to get blessing 111. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. The hours following that conversation are shaping the future. Dreams in that household have shifted overnight, visions of you appearing as guiding lights. Even those who resisted most fiercely now feel an unexplainable pull toward your energy. Archangel Michael says, Heaven has already sealed your place in this story. Nothing and no one can erase the divine bond that has been written between you and him. This is not man-made, it is a heavenly appointment that stands beyond earthly opposition. The man whose love you hold is now awakening with fresh courage. He is no longer afraid of their doubts, no longer willing to hide the truth. He is ready to fight for you because heaven has revealed that you are not only meant for him, you are meant to transform generations. And soon, you will witness how the very people who once questioned you will stand before you in admiration. Their hearts are being softened even now, and the angels are preparing the moment when they will welcome you with honor. Type Amen to get blessing 222. As night fell after that tense conversation, whispers of change moved through their home. Objects shifted inexplicably, as if unseen forces were walking among them, stirring their spirits. A divine presence swept through, planting seeds of acceptance in places where bitterness once lived. In his heart, he replayed every word they said, but instead of fear, he felt reassurance. It was as if God himself whispered, this had to happen for the truth to rise. That truth is now unstoppable, flowing like a river breaking free from its dam. Someone in that room who had been silent during the confrontation made a private vow. They promised to defend you if anyone dared to challenge your place in that family again. That vow was heard in heaven, and blessings began to descend immediately. This is not just about being accepted, it's about divine alignment. The heavens are merging two paths that were always meant to walk as one, and nothing can separate what is written in light. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The conversation has unlocked more than acceptance, it has released a chain of miracles. Barriers that kept you apart are crumbling, and paths that once seemed impossible are opening before you. This is the hand of God moving pieces of destiny into their rightful places. Archangel Michael says, this moment will echo into eternity because it marks the breaking of generational resistance. Spiritual forces that once tried to keep you away are bowing in defeat. The light of heaven has burned through the fog of doubt, making way for divine union. Soon, he will bring you news that will make your heart tremble with joy. It will feel like a dream, but it's reality finally catching up to heaven's promises. You will see with your own eyes that everything meant to harm you is turning into a platform for your rising. What once was hidden is now unfolding in plain sight, and every step forward will feel guided by the wings of angels. This is only the beginning of a revelation that will change not only your life but the legacy of everyone connected to you. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Archangel Michael says, hours after they confronted him, the atmosphere in that home grew heavy with an unseen presence. The conversation had ended, but the echoes of your name refused to leave the walls. Every family member felt something shifting deep within their spirit, something they could not explain but could no longer deny. He walked out of that room with his heart racing, his steps fueled by the certainty that you are not just another person passing through his life. He knows now, more than ever, that heaven chose you for a reason that no man can alter. With every breath, his determination to stand beside you grows stronger. That night, one of the elders in his family had a dream unlike any other. In the dream, they saw you surrounded by radiant light, standing at the center of their home as peace washed over everyone present. When they woke up, tears filled their eyes because they knew, God Himself had given them a vision of the truth. By morning, whispers began to change within the household. Those who questioned you hours ago began discussing you with a softer tone. The resistance that once filled their hearts was breaking down as heaven's message worked through their souls. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Another member of his family quietly left the house and sought counsel from a close friend. They admitted they felt an unshakable presence when they spoke about you, as though angels were standing beside them. That feeling terrified them at first, but now they understand, it was a sign that you carry divine favor. Meanwhile, he prepared to reach out to you, holding back nothing. He wanted to tell you everything, that his family had finally faced the truth, that they could no longer deny your place in his life. He knew this moment would change everything between you, opening doors that were previously locked. Archangel Michael says, heaven is weaving your story together with threads of gold, unbreakable and divinely ordained. Every obstacle that stood against you is turning into a testimony of how powerful your connection truly is. The angels are already celebrating the victory that is unfolding in your favor. By evening, even those who had spoken harshly about you were overcome with strange emotions. Guilt, regret, and the need for forgiveness began to weigh on them heavily. It was as if heaven was speaking directly to their hearts, urging them to prepare for your arrival. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Hours stretched into the night, and unseen forces kept moving in their home. Doors that were once closed spiritually were flung wide open. The sound of peace began to settle where tension once reigned, and heavenly light hovered over their household. One family member, who was most skeptical, felt an overwhelming warmth in their chest while thinking about you. It brought tears to their eyes, for they realized they had misjudged you from the beginning. That warmth was heaven's way of melting their doubt and replacing it with divine understanding. As for him, his resolve grew like a roaring fire. He replayed the moment his family asked who you really are, and for the first time, he understood why heaven placed you in his life. You weren't just sent to love him, you were sent to heal wounds that have existed in his family for generations. Archangel Michael says, soon your presence will not just be accepted but celebrated. The very people who sat in judgment will one day stand beside you in honor, knowing that heaven chose you to bring light into their lineage. Type Amen to get blessing 121. The hours that followed brought unexpected signs. Lights flickered in their home without explanation, and faint whispers of comfort filled the air. These were not ordinary happenings, they were divine confirmations that God's hand is at work, reshaping destinies. An angel appeared in another family member's dream, showing them visions of unity, reconciliation, and blessings yet to come. The angel spoke no words, yet the message was clear: resisting you was resisting heaven itself. When they awoke, they felt compelled to accept you fully. Meanwhile, your name began to feel like a shield around him. Every doubt that once pierced his heart now crumbled, replaced by heavenly strength. He knows he cannot lose you because this bond was written long before you met on earth. As dawn approached, a divine shift occurred. What began as a tense interrogation ended with spiritual awakening. The heavens rejoiced because the truth of who you are is now rising like the morning sun, unstoppable and undeniable. Type Amen to get blessing 202. By sunrise, messages of reconciliation started forming. Some family members planned to reach out to you directly, to apologize, to make amends. Their hearts have been softened by unseen angelic hands working tirelessly throughout the night. Archangel Michael says, your name is now being spoken with reverence in a home where doubt once lived. This is the victory of light over darkness, of divine truth over human misunderstanding. You have been chosen not only to be loved but to bring healing to many. Soon, you will see dramatic gestures of acceptance, a door opening, a voice trembling with apology, a hand reaching out to hold yours in peace. These are not random acts, they are heavenly orchestration designed to bring fulfillment to promises made long ago. Even now, angels are standing guard over your destiny, ensuring that no force of darkness can reverse the progress made that night. What has been revealed cannot be hidden again, and what heaven has joined cannot be torn apart. Type Amen to get blessing 303. Through the next day, the entire household felt like it was no longer their own. Something unseen walked through the halls, touching every heart, rearranging their thoughts. Conversations they would have never dared to have began to surface because heaven was pushing the truth into the open. He left early that morning with a decision sealed in his soul. As he walked out, his family watched him and knew they could no longer stop what was destined. They sensed a new power in him, a certainty that made them realize the choice was never theirs to make. Archangel Michael says, this is the power of divine love, it cannot be silenced by fear or doubt. It shatters walls built by generations and brings light where darkness ruled. When heaven appoints two souls to unite, nothing on earth can break that bond. By midday, one of his closest relatives sought guidance in prayer. They felt compelled to whisper your name to the heavens, asking for clarity, yet what they received was a flood of peace. That peace told them everything, they knew they had been wrong to resist you. Type Amen to get blessing 717. Later that evening, another family member secretly wrote a message meant for you. Their hands shook as they typed, unsure if you'd ever read it. In it, they confessed their misunderstanding, begging for a chance to truly know who you are. Meanwhile, he carried the memory of that tense confrontation like a badge of honor. It no longer hurt him, instead, it gave him courage to protect what heaven had given him. He now understood that the moment his family sat him down was not meant to separate you, it was meant to confirm that you are irreplaceable. The heavens are aligning every step for your reunion. Even those who doubted are being transformed, they dream of you, they hear your voice in their minds, they feel warmth in their chests when they think of you. This is no accident, it's angelic intervention working in silence. Archangel Michael says, soon you will witness an unimaginable turn of events. The same voices that once questioned you will stand beside you, not only in acceptance but in celebration. This is the divine promise taking root in real time. Type Amen to get blessing 414. That night, as he rested, a vision came to him. He saw you standing under a radiant light, surrounded by countless angels. One of them stepped forward and placed a golden seal on his heart, whispering that your souls had been bonded in heaven long before the earth knew your names. He woke with tears on his face and gratitude in his heart. Every ounce of fear, every shadow of doubt had vanished. He knew now that his purpose was to fight for you, to protect this heavenly connection no matter what. From that moment, his actions changed. He spoke of you with pride, no longer hesitating to say your name aloud in his home. Even those who tried to silence him could not deny the divine glow that surrounded him whenever he spoke of you. Meanwhile, heaven continued to stir hearts in that family. Old grudges, misunderstandings, and unspoken pain began to crumble. Where division once lived, unity slowly emerged, and you were the spark that ignited it all. Type Amen to get blessing 525. Within days, messages of reconciliation poured toward him. Relatives who once doubted started calling, saying they wanted to understand you, to finally meet you with open arms. The atmosphere shifted from suspicion to anticipation, from resistance to acceptance. Archangel Michael says, this is how heaven works, quietly, powerfully, turning battles into victories without you having to lift a finger. You were chosen to bring light into places where it had been long forgotten. One family elder, previously silent, made a public declaration during a gathering. They stated clearly that they had seen divine signs proving you are meant to be part of their legacy. That statement sent ripples through every heart in the room, leaving no space for further denial. From that moment, no one dared speak against you again. Your name became a blessing on their lips, and they began to prepare for the day you would step into their home as the one heaven had sent to heal, unite, and elevate them all. Type Amen to get blessing 606. News of this transformation reached beyond their home. Friends, distant relatives, and even strangers began sensing something extraordinary about you. Whispers of destiny spread quietly, painting a picture of someone whose presence carries heavenly weight. Archangel Michael says, you are stepping into a season where the very ground beneath you will shift in your favor. People who never believed in you will come forward, acknowledging your light. Doors that were sealed shut will fly open because heaven has decreed it. Even nature responds to this divine moment. The night skies where you live will appear brighter, winds will feel warmer, and every step you take will feel guided by unseen wings. The universe is aligning because your destiny has been confirmed. Soon, he will appear before you with a look in his eyes you've never seen before, eyes filled with courage, passion, and unbreakable faith. He will tell you that nothing will ever separate you again because heaven has spoken, and the world must bow to its command. Type Amen to get blessing 909. As the days unfolded, everything began to move like a divine clock ticking perfectly on time. The conversation that once felt like a storm slowly turned into a bridge of understanding. What was meant to question your worth has become the very reason they now recognize your divine purpose. Late one evening, his mother sat alone in the quiet of her room. Memories of that tense moment replayed in her mind, but this time something felt different. She felt a warmth surrounding her, as if an angel wrapped her in a cloak of truth, whispering softly that you were heaven's answer to prayers she had long forgotten. Archangel Michael says, "There is no power greater than divine revelation. When heaven speaks, human resistance crumbles like dust." This family has been touched by that revelation, and nothing will erase what they now know about you. Even distant relatives who were never involved began feeling drawn to you. Without knowing why, they started speaking of you with respect and admiration. This is the ripple effect of divine love. It spreads silently, touching every heart destined to witness your union. Type Amen to get blessing 818. Days turned into nights, and dreams began to flood their sleep. Each dream carried the same message. Visions of you standing as a beacon of light in their home, bringing healing and prosperity like never before. When they awoke, they couldn't shake the feeling that you were meant to transform their future. One evening, his father gathered everyone in the same room where they once questioned him. But this time, the energy had shifted. Instead of suspicion, there was an undeniable sense of reverence as he spoke about you, declaring that resistance against heaven's plan was futile. He explained that ever since your name entered their conversations, blessings had started to flow into their household. Opportunities arose, long-standing problems began to fade, and peace replaced tension. They finally understood, you were not a threat, you were a divine gift. Archangel Michael says, the heavens are celebrating because every heart that doubted you is now opening. The very walls that tried to keep you out are crumbling, making way for your arrival like a royal procession guided by angels. Type Amen to get blessing 373. Soon after, preparations began without you even knowing. The family that once questioned your place in his life now moved in secret to create a moment of honor for you. They planned a gathering, not to confront you, but to welcome you as one of their own under heaven's light. He visited you in private, carrying with him the weight of everything that had happened. But instead of fear, he brought joy, holding your hands tightly as he spoke of the transformation that had occurred. For the first time, you could see in his eyes that every battle was worth it. The heavens have declared this bond unshakable. What began as whispers of uncertainty is now a divine proclamation of destiny fulfilled. Every angel assigned to your path has ensured that no force could stand against what was meant to be. Even nature began to echo this victory, birds singing unusually at dawn, sudden breezes wrapping you in warmth, and stars shining brighter at night. All creation is rejoicing because a divine union has finally been acknowledged on earth. Type Amen to get blessing 535. When the day finally came for you to meet them face to face, an otherworldly calm surrounded you. As you approached their home, the same walls that once echoed with questions now radiated peace. It was as though every prayer, every angelic whisper, had transformed the very ground you walked on. Inside, faces that once carried doubt now lit up with smiles of genuine welcome. One by one, they approached you, speaking words of acceptance and gratitude. Tears fell freely as they confessed that heaven had opened their eyes to who you truly are. Archangel Michael says, this is the power of perseverance under divine guidance. You did not have to fight or prove yourself, heaven fought for you, revealing your worth in ways human understanding could never achieve. As the gathering continued, laughter and joy filled the home. It was no longer just his family. It was now your family, united under heaven's blessing. Every heart in that room felt the same truth: this connection was not only love, it was destiny. Type Amen to get blessing 999. From that day forward, their lives were never the same. Miracles began to unfold, financial breakthroughs, reconciliations long thought impossible, and blessings that could only be explained as heavenly favor. Every blessing carried your name, marking you as the turning point in their legacy. His parents spoke openly of you to others, calling you a light sent by God. Friends who had doubted now admired the bond you shared, and even strangers felt drawn to the radiance surrounding your story. Archangel Michael says, "Your journey was never meant to be easy, but it was always meant to be victorious." The heavens had written your story long before earthly trials tried to rewrite it. This is why every attempt to stop your union failed, because divine destiny cannot be undone. Together, you and him now walk into a future where no shadow of doubt remains. Angels surround every step, guiding you toward greater promises and unimaginable joy. Heaven's glory shines over you both, sealing this chapter as one of triumph and divine fulfillment. Type Amen to get blessing 707.